Many people say that EVE Online is a friendship machine. And as much groaning as there may be about this cliche that the best ship in EVE Online is friendship, after enough time playing, you really do start to believe it. Because years later, you won't remember how much ISK you had, what ships you were flying, or even who won most of the fights. What you will remember are the nights that something almost went wrong. The fleet you weren't supposed to survive. The stranger who stayed to help when they didn't have to. And you remember being lifted up by your friends for the victories and shaking off the defeats together. The friendships were never really the cause, but they're the evidence. They exist because of what happened. What makes New Eden feel alive was never the universe, but the shared history inside of it. EVE is a game where the tiniest of decisions ripple outward and have a massively outsized impact. One pilot logs in a bit later than expected. Someone decides to make a last scan of the system before calling it a night. Or maybe you decide to run a combat anomaly outside of your usual constellation. Hours, days, weeks, months, even years later, it turns into a battle, a loss, or maybe it turns into meeting someone you end up flying with for years. Every corporation, every alliance, every individual pilot is living inside their own version of the game. They're living a history that only exists for the people who were there to know about it. There's victories that nobody else will notice, and there's disasters nobody else will hear about. And most of those stories disappear. Right now, my group lives in wormhole space. It's a place with no local chat, no warnings, and no guarantee that the door home will still be there tomorrow. Every day, we scan new systems, meet strangers and old friends, make mistakes, pick fights that we maybe shouldn't, and often even survive them. This series isn't a guide, it's not a montage, it's a record. It's a peephole, a tiny window into one small history as it happens. Because the ships, they're replaceable. Our structures will eventually fall, and entire star systems will change hands. But the stories are the part that stays. And this is one of them. Welcome to the Star Chronicler. Log 1, Velorum. Moving into new space in EVE Online can be a very daunting task. In the case of wormholers, it's definitely so. Not only is wormhole space a place with no asset safety, but you have to go in with a lot of extra assets. And that's where this story finds us. Migrating away from our previous home, a Class 5 Wolf-Rayet star system, and moving into somewhere in low-class space. Deep space transport's definitely one of the best ways for us to move all of the necessary assets. We luckily already have the structures down here. We're ready to go. We just need all of the ships, fuel. There's so many things that are required. As a wormholer group, you need rollers so that you can roll any connection, whether incoming or outgoing. You need PvP ships. You need ways to make money, ratting ships or gas huffers. And of course, you're going to need a solid defensive doctrine. And all of that, it requires a ton of legwork from a logistics force. So, that's where we started off here. We had fleets and fleets going back and forth, not just from Velorum, our previous wormhole, but also from trade hubs in high security space where we would be able to pick up the necessary assets. Luckily, our scanners had already found the routes from us. Look now, we have another fleet of DSTs coming on in. And with it, all the fuel we would need, all of the PvP ships, anything that we'd really look for, setting up in this new home. Now, of course, this might not be the most glamorous view of what wormhole space has to offer, doing some basic logistics, but that's where you're going to get in this series. You're going to get a little bit of everything. The boring, the exciting, anything that happens, really. This is going to be a true view of what goes down for a wormhole corp like this. Our corp, physics says no, or a lot of people know us as Sino. We're a powerful PvP force in a lot of cases. We've done some stuff in high class space, and with this migration down lower class, we have actually a lot of excitement going into this because we now have a nullsec static connection, meaning that we're going to be able to practice for some of the PvP tournaments even that we've signed ourselves up for, and a lot of more future PvP adventures to come, and that nullsec static is going to give us a lot of that, hence our move. A lot of us have a background in wormhole space, and some of us just hail from nullsec, but overall, it's a really impressive group that we have together at this point, and we're excited to see where it goes from here. In keeping with a trend that many wormholers follow, we've named our home system, in this case, Pandora. It's our Class 2 wormhole. It's vanilla, meaning that there's no wormhole effect, no armor bonus or shield bonus or capacitor or anything like that. It's pretty basic, but really nice for what we're looking to do. That nullsec static I was mentioning before, but also a Class 5 wormhole static, meaning that we're going to have access to the bounties of wormhole space as well as some content via nullsec. Now, frankly, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be showing you in this series, but it's more a day in the life as it comes. Whatever happens, you're going to be here for it, and I'm excited to show it to you. But if you're only interested in explosions and cool cinematics, I would definitely recommend you check out someone like Warlock Industries on their YouTube channel instead. They're a buddy of mine, and they've been so helpful for me figuring out what I'm going to be doing here. But again, you should probably check them out anyway, even if you want to see more than just explosions. But in this case, I can guarantee you there will be some explosions, but exactly how and when they'll show up? No clue. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, hilariously enough, it was exactly as I was taking this footage right here that suddenly, middle of the night, we're getting pinged repeatedly on Discord, our alarms that our structures are under attack. And notably enough, it wasn't these new ones in this system here. It was actually from where we had just left. Our Class 5 system, Velorum. It's a Wolf-Rayet star system, meaning it does have a bonus to things like small weapons and armor. It's a really cool hole to do things in with confessors, kikimoras, that sort of thing. And it's a place that we loved living in, but we wanted to move out of because we envisioned that we could potentially train new pilots here, show them things like the ability of doing these combat anomalies and sights while using these small ships, but otherwise we wanted the content availability of a lower class hull. But crazily enough, there were so many hostiles who had suddenly shown up and hit our structures. This hostile posse was filled with kikimoras, sweeples, interdictors. They were all here to hurt us where it counts, and they were active, moving around, maintaining hull control, just showing off that they were around and they were intending to fight. And as we would see this sort of thing, it was actually really scary for us. We had so many characters that were now outside of the hole. We had just moved so many assets out, all of those DSTs that we saw earlier, shipping our stuff from point A to point B. That point A was Velorum in a lot of cases, and we needed to be able to get back in. But of course, there wasn't just the one POS, there were multiple. POS number 2 here had rolling ships, both battleships, there were rolling Hicks, and again, more Kikimoras, and then all kinds of logistics with Guardians, Legions. You can see the praxis here. Those are all set up to be able to roll the Class 5 static connection that Velorum has. And yeah, a good number of active pilots here. We actually saw one warp off just a minute ago, so we know that they're out and about. Now on their own, these two bosses were already cause for concern for us, but what made us really certain that something serious was happening here was when we got eyes over to POS 1. an Apostle-class Force Auxiliary ship, an Archon-class carrier, multiple other rollers, Zarmaz Logistics, Kikimoras. This was a serious eviction attempt, and someone had brought in a lot of heavy assets for it. Now, you might have heard of evictions in wormholes before, but they don't happen quite as randomly as you might think. Typically, there's a sign of weakness, a structure unanchoring, something having gone low on power, run out of fuel, even abandoned structures, but nothing like that had happened here. This was an active hole belonging to our active alliance. Hilariously enough, again, I had actually just spent some time making some footage here, probably an hour before, just while testing out my ability to record footage and edit it together. Apparently what was actually to come was a full-force eviction attempt, nearly 100 pilots there to attack us, nearly 15 different corporations involved. I definitely might have cursed us on that little snippet that I had made. Sorry, team. Oops. Now, our very first order of business was making sure that we could sit in all of our assets that we actually had in our structures already. And having confirmed that, the next order of business was making sure we could get in our own forces and then see if we could get some friends in as well to help us defend. Luckily, around this time, we were realizing that hull control from our opponents was really inconsistent. And this meant that we actually had reasonable avenues of trying to take it as in control of the wormhole connections ourselves. Here, we actually again see the Apostle and the Archon from our hostiles. We didn't really know what was up with this Apostle. It wasn't rolling wormhole connections actively. We were even thinking potentially it's actually set up as a proper Force Auxiliary ship. In wormhole space, you would often see these ships being used as capital-sized wormhole rollers themselves, and that's very much what we were expecting, but having not seen it active, it was definitely leading us to believe that maybe it was actually just here for a fight that might never come the way that they would expect. Now, conversely, of course, the Archon that they had floating in the very same POS, this one we did see rolling holes infrequently. It was actively doing so on occasion, but nowhere near consistently. And this meant that we could go for hull control on our own. And early in the morning, actually 2 of our pilots managed to solo take wormhole control, just nano-ganging everything out themselves. It was an awesome thing for them to be able to accomplish. And it also showed a little bit that the attackers, rather, were not adequately prepared for what they were getting themselves into. With us having wormhole control, we were able to bring in everything we would need to defend. This was, in this case, jackdaws for our own doctrine ships, but mostly it was pods and pods and pods. We got in many through a nullsec connection, and many through our direct C5 static connection as well. And before we knew it, we actually felt very secure that we were going to be able to get in adequate defensive forces. Now, it also tells us a lot that there wasn't actually much wormhole control attempt from the hostiles. This meant this wasn't a proper wormhole eviction force, or not one that was very experienced doing so. Everyone knows if you want an eviction attempt to be successful, you need to have wormhole control. So, having been able to import a full defensive doctrine, as well as a full fleet of defenders, nearly 100 pilots, we're feeling pretty good, pretty confident overall, especially because what we knew the opponents were working with was largely Kikimoras, and we were sure that with jackdaws, we were going to be able to volley them off-grid in this Wolf Ray wormhole effect. And so, given that we had such a massive force advantage as far as we were concerned, it was time to just do a little bit more diplomacy. Now, diplomacy in EVE, and especially in wormhole space, can often look like just having the right points of contact at the right points in time. But otherwise, we were able to simply go around to the CEOs or heads of all these different groups that were associated here trying to attack our structure. And most of these groups actually didn't really know why they were here, or didn't have a good concrete answer. And the ones that did know, well, they were all pointing to one specific person or organizer who was bringing all of these assembled forces together, which made it very easy for us to simply contact that person and ask what was going on. And we were also realizing bit by bit that none of these attacking forces really wanted to be here anymore, seeing what we had been able to bring in to defend, the number of people involved, and things had definitely spiraled out of control. So we suddenly got invited to a voice call with the very same organizer of everything. And here's how the conclusion of that call went.
Like Grace just dropped in the group chat we have here, like what's being said. Like read it, like you will see for yourself like who said what there, right? You have a black and white there. And I think that's it, right? Like there's not a lot that we need to discuss. Like we can talk in circles and circles. We have the information we want. Like I advise you to just leave, the wormhole. I and the rest of us will not pursuit you in as a person. Like I will leave it here. I will also tell Grace not to have any grudges in the future. Like that is my guarantee that I give to you. And whatever we will do with the rest of the groups, that's up to us. Again, like I said before, like I'm sorry this happened to you. There's definitely some holes in your story. Again, I don't blame you for that. You don't owe me anything, but like you're a grunt, you're not a mastermind, right?
I'm so bored right now. I want to just, do something.
I just want to kill the boss though.
Can we just keep shooting the boss?
And suddenly the hostile FC was asking if they could just simply leave the wormhole.
Oh no, the hole's staying closed. No one is getting out alive. Like they can leave everything in the pods and just pop themselves out, or everyone is gonna die. You guys made a choice to be here. You will die. Like you're here, right? Like you're on my doorstep. Like we're not leaving everyone just go free. You guys are here for a choice. You made your bed, and now you have to lie in it, and that's gonna be dead.
It's the idea that you can leave the wormhole in the sense that like stop the eviction attempt entirely, or you can warp into us as we kill you essentially on it. But at this point, it's been enough of a drama for us that if nothing else, we want kill mails out of our weekend. We also had things we wanted to be doing throughout it. And
like you guys wasted like 12 hours, 13 hours of our time. Like at least you can feed some kill mails. That's it. But again, wish you good luck in Eve.
And so it was becoming very apparent that we weren't going to get the glorious fight that we were looking for with all of our assembled forces against all of the attackers. But you know what? Maybe it's better that way. If nothing else, we had a safe structure and still lots of hostile assets to shoot at here. And in keeping with what our friendly pilot was saying earlier, they were bored. They wanted to shoot something. And so we prepped and we were ready to go and do some damage ourselves.
check. JJ, you're in a Zenitra. When you land, double click behind you and siege when you're sub like 10 meters a second.
Oh,
You're drifting at like 20 meters a second, so your tracking is just gonna.
I see.
You're
You
moving,
should know this.
JJ.
This is not
Oh
your
my
first time playing
god.
a drone.
Yeah, no, I
Nerfs.
thought about aligning backwards, but I forgot
Handbrake
about
it.
velocity.
That was as far as your brain went, was it?
Yeah, I haven't
We
been
had
getting
this
a drone in
joke.
9 months.
Or you won't track at all.
JJ.
On the plus side, he's drifted into range that I can refit off of him.
No,
Crazy.
they're not tanky. You're probably just not tracking them.
Wait, did you
There you
haven't
go.
killed it yet?
No, because he
Like,
was
there's
burning
a-
at 20 meters a second.
Right,
JJ,
shoot
like-
There's
the other one,
incapacitated, dude.
JJ. Just shoot
Okay.
the other one. You're shooting the one that's in cap.
Oh god. Okay,
It's in a
fine.
hole, you muppet.
Christ.
What?
Why did we let him fly the drone?
In cap.
This is a
It's
great
Stop
like-
shooting the incapacitated one.
Yeah,
There we go.
Come on, JJ, you got this. That one? Yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
JJ. Well done.
Ah,
Get
Congrats.
gold
It was a good
sticker.
boy.
This is just embarrassing in front of like
Don't make me warp a
20
third one in.
people.
He's gonna raffle the pods before JJ can do 2 batteries.
Shut up, it's done.
That was
Good
cruel
job.
and unusual.
Good boy.
The humiliation ritual.
Good.
He can't even warp off from
boy.
embarrassment.
I've managed to rotate. I'm not like pointing slightly to the left.
Yeah, because you bumped into the other Zenitra.
You made my speed go from 1 to 2.
Don't worry, I'm on 3 meters a second, so it's not that far now.
JJ went bowling today.
Where's the third? No, I'm waiting for the third zone as well. Like, where's that?
Yeah, I'm a warp. No worries.
We need
I'll
the
wait
zone
for
before
JJ to land.
JJ's
My JJ.
I'm landed. I'm sieged up.
I know, Jill. Like I said, I'm already a warp.
JJ, you gonna shoot something?
Yes.
No, it's
JJ, you gonna lost
busy.
something?
Shut up.
Love it, the Congo line of Zerns.
Am I the only one with a skin? Oh no.
No,
this-
look at my skin. I am properly skinned.
That's true. The batteries always go after me, not because I'm the first to land, but because I'm the ugliest.
Can I tell my story now?
Yes, you can tell a story.
Ah.
Say check.
I once got given a medal for putting a pause up and putting the shield down as on the outside of the pause.
I just realized something. I grabbed this turn.
red.
No, I grabbed this turn from someone else. It's not my turn. This one literally came with 1 clip of ammo.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Ask
Do not
someone to
shoot.
eject it to you.
No,
Just
it's all
bounce the
good.
ping.
It's all good. I'm still
Do
shooting.
not-
The problem, it has long range ammo in it, so I'm not doing that much damage.
It's fine. If you give it to JJ, he'll drift over to Dovo.
True. So, friendly banter aside, we had well and truly defended in the sense that our Fortizar had now repaired, and all of the hostile structures were now either in reinforcement when they were fueled. Some of them had even abandoned their player-owned starbases entirely, having pulled out the fuel and strontium as well, just giving us those immediate kill mails. But we did have a couple hostile incoming wormholes. This one here we rolled with our own rolling carrier, so it wasn't entirely fear-free, let's say. But at this point, our allies that we had brought in to help us defend, they were leaving. They made their escape, having known that they had successfully helped us defend. We were totally happy with that. But that left us some decisions. How were we going to try to find ways to kill these remaining couple ships here? That Apostle, that Archon. We really wanted those dead, and we know we didn't really have a way to force it out of the hostiles. So we started thinking, well, we remembered earlier how the hostiles had put a bubble in line with our Fortizar next to their player-owned starbase. So we figured at that point, we might have a little bit of fun with it ourselves once we finished rolling all these connections. Here's what that looked like. Now, unfortunately, at this point, we learned that the hostiles did in fact know a way of flinging their ships out of the POS and safe logging them, so we were unable to kill them, much to our chagrin. But it's not to say the same for the rest of all their structures and assets. Enjoy this montage. And finally, with these hostile assets gone, we were able to do some of the C5 Wolf Rayet ratting that we were mentioning earlier. One of the cool things about this wormhole. Thanks so much for watching. End of Log 1.